Emmanuel Sabbi keeps his place after a man-of-the-match performance last week as he looks to join the front line centrally at times. Navajo looking to create from a central number 10 spot. Georgie Manungu's direct 1v1 threat meant he was a must-start. Navajo right now, this early in the season, among the contenders for me are the most valuable players in MLS.
Underway in what should be a doozy here at BC Place. Around the penalty spot where Brian White and T.S. Laborda are there waiting for it. Stinging ball for Sabbi! Just wide! Near post position for Emmanuel Sabbi. Nearly worked.
He knew exactly what was coming from Berhalter. It's one thing that Matt Wells certainly wants to change.
Berhalter curling that in nicely for Eder Ocampo down the right side. Thought about a cross. Inside this time and on the left foot. All the way through to Muller. Setting up the goal! Jack Sabbi cashes in early for the Whitecaps.
What a goal. Absolutely beautiful in terms of switching the play. And how about the composure from Thomas Muller? He knows that he can't shoot from there. Just puts it on a plate for Sabbi. A bit of a surprise, but what a way to repay the coach. It's a switch of play from Eder Ocampo. Wide open is Muller. And then Sabbi reacts quickest, stabs out the right foot, steers it beyond Stefan, who can't react in time. An excellent opening salvo from the Whitecaps, doing what they've done so often here against opponents who have come in and seen goals flash past them early in matches.
Kubas in a little bit of trouble, gets out of the forest, finds Tate Johnson. Ahead for the Paraguayan. Sees some daylight for Brian White. White, could he chip the keeper? He'll try to curl it. He'll be successful. Brian White makes it 2-0 for the Whitecaps.
Aggressive as always from the Colorado goalkeeper, but look at the pass from Kubas into the space. White picks up his head, sees the opportunity. Rather than chip over, there's room to the right, and he curls it in perfectly with Harrington trying to get back in pursuit. Beautiful team goal again from the Whitecaps, doing what they do so well, breaking up play, countering quickly.
To Navajo. Sabbi. Kubas whipping that in for Muller. Muller tries to send it through to Brian White. He's in space again. Does White have another? Stefan steps up to make the save. The rebound is there for Sabbi, and he can't get it past the keeper either.
Kubas was coming strong. Look at that turn from Muller with the pace, and then into the perfect spot as well. So in his stride, White can just make up his mind. He tries to chip. And Brian White will be very disappointed he didn't slide that along the deck and put it home.
Kubas steps into it. Berhalter, stopped by Stefan. Loose ball is cleared away. By AT&T came in hot from Berhalter.
You know, that was a difficult save in the end. It was difficult.
All the white kids in front of them. Caps all coming back into their defensive half right now. Navajo tapping out to Hamzat. There's a through ball. Aronson on his horse. Laborda trying to angle him away. Aronson tries to cut it across, and Yohei Takaoka.
That's a good response from Colorado. That's the ball from Hamzat. And breaking away is Aronson. Takaoka can read it because Aronson gets right to the end line. There's only one place he can really put it.
Here come the Rapids the other way. Navajo looking for Manungu. Aronson is still down at a heat. Manungu whipping that across, back post. Sealy gets it down into the turf, but wide of the mark. A good chance as the back for the defenders once more. Navajo to Hamzat. Long diagonal ball into the corner. In stride. Manungu! Sealy is there. Still free in the 6. Muscled in by Navajo. Hoffa Navajo strikes again. His 7th of the season, matching Brian White. And we've got ourselves a match here at 2-1.
And again, set up from Hamzat. Another terrific ball out to the flank. This is the build through central midfield. And the coach saying that he wants the players to have the courage to be able to do that. But this is a good ball finally from Manungu. He's able to get loose there. Eventually goes off the knee or the shin of Navajo after that ball is centered. But it's very difficult for the Whitecap defenders tracking back towards their own goal. Takaoka can't get there. And just as he's trying to put the block on, he puts it right into Navajo.
Long discussion between Thomas Muller, Hafa Navajo, and the
of Hafa Navajo, then the goal will be ruled out.
We were looking at all of the early touch, but now it's the point to the midway stripe and the Rapids. We'll see. Laborda for Sabally. Racing against Holding. Sabally comes away with the ball. Muller rattling it off of Stefan. In fact, crossed up the keeper because there wasn't much on that.
He knows he needs to do much better, and more often than not, he would. Good hustle from Sabally to win the ball from Holding, who overruns it.
And we're underway here in the second 45. Sebastian Berhalter launches it down the right wing. Straight line down the middle of the box almost from the Whitecaps. Here it comes from Berhalter. Going back post. Blackman gets a piece, pops it up. Handled by Stefan. Spinning away from Darren Yappy. Ball in to help. Now ahead to Caicedo. He's in some space. Caicedo trying to feed wide, just wide.
Caicedo, I think, needs to shoot here. He set up perfectly on his right foot. We saw him curl on far post for his first goal last week against Kansas City. And in that similar position, very unselfish.
Now a through ball right. Bruno Caicedo. Only the keeper ahead of him. Caicedo blocked in the end, still alive. Second effort, scores!
With the quickest man on the park. But what a ball from Muller to put it into the spot. And this time Caicedo, he has only one thing on his mind. Get that shot towards goal. Lucas Harrington does it. It's not a handball from the shoulder down. So is it clearly and obviously? It definitely hits the armpit.
Well,
and now the referee's going to have a look.
He's been called over. Reasonable suspicion from the VAR to take this one off the board as we hit 80 minutes at BC Place. So this is a pivotal moment with the time left on the clock.
There's the freeze frame of where the ball ends up bouncing back up. And it's into that armpit area underneath. But is it high enough? That's the question. Caroline Chenard thinks this is clearly and obviously a handball. And I think it is as well. Unfortunate for Caicedo, but the effort that Harrington has put in to prevent that from being crossed over the line even before he was there.
We had the low angle look of the feet of Harrington. And as you see Caicedo load up, and here's the call.
After review, there's a handball by number 14 prior to the goal. Final decision, no goal, direct free kick, Colorado.
Return pass, sliding tackle by Laborda. Successful. Berhalter has to be quick. Wants to get it to the quick Caicedo. How about that pass? Caicedo's going to turn the corner. Caicedo back for White! There it is! The Whitecaps get their third. It's a brace for Brian White, and it's 3-0, 3-1 Vancouver.
Down the touchline with the speed. Pinpoint from Sebastian Berhalter. Egan Rosenberry can only watch as Caicedo drives by and cleverly lays it back for White into the spot where the striker is making the onrushing run. And that's a striker's finish from Brian White. His 7th goal of the season. His 8th goal of the season. He's got 2 tonight. And the Whitecaps again this time.
It's a ball down that left side looking familiar to the Caicedo ball. Can he get the same sort of success? The trailers, Navajo, rebound! Navajo stopped again by Takaoka! 2 stops by the Whitecaps keeper. Exclusive NetCam replay brought to you by AT&T.
It's the deflection from Laborda that makes it so difficult, but how quickly he closes down Navajo.
A couple of corner kick goals this season already for Colorado. Can they add an important third here? It is going back post. There's bodies there. Rattling around and in the net. No. Blown away immediately.
So unfortunate for the Rapids there, right on the goal line. In swinging ball, so difficult for the keeper to deal with. Hamzat adjudged to have fouled Yohei Takaoka. He does impede Takaoka there. He's the one that ends up heading the ball into the goal as well.
Balumi. Muller flaring that out for Caicedo. Couldn't catch it cleanly, otherwise that would have been very dangerous. From distance, Caicedo's testing Steffen.
Good save.
And there's the final whistle. The Whitecaps survive the Rapids.